A few days back, we worked on a video essay on the impact of Bollywood item songs in contemporary society and received mixed reactions in the comments section. While many endorsed our views, some critiqued our take with logic, and our efforts also seemed to be defeated for few others, as evident from some of the comments and banters. The image of an ideal woman, her clothing, her wishes, or her sexuality still seems to be heavily contested in our minds, in the settings of the patriarchal Indian modernity. And it has always been so. While working on an essay for Satyajit Ray's Mahanagar, we also came across this enlightening write-up by Lipi Begum, a lecturer in fashion management, on how Ray establishes the new Indian woman in this film in power, responsibility, and femininity using style statements as in the lipstick, sunglass, or the semi-hidden bra. The write-up was fascinating, a distinct take on the masterpiece film Mahanagar, which we had to discuss for all of you, along with our own thoughts on Ray's visions and politics in the use of the bra on Aruti, the film's protagonist, and his manifestation of the new Indian woman. We had to discuss this to try and emphasize how Satyajit Ray demonstrated cinematic narratives of everyday power dressing to establish the feminine agency 50 years back that we can hardly put up in our cinema even today, lost between surface-level gimmicks and gallery play. Mahanagar finds Aruti, played by a brilliant Madhavi Mukherjee, stepping out of the private space of a lower middle-class Bengali household for a job of a sales girl. It is a time when only a handful of middle-class Indian women stepped out of the private sphere of home to the public sphere of the city and workplace. The conservative nature of the Bengali society established through all the male characters in the film. We hear her husband Shubhrato, a superb Anil Chatterjee, mention to Aruti, even if jokingly, that a wife belongs inside the house. He suggests his sister Bani that her studies might not fetch much, as she will end up cooking for her family like her sister-in-law. He agrees and supports Aruti in finding a job, but is never at ease inside, as his wife goes out to earn. There are distinct sequences of unease when Aruti starts earning well. Shubhrato's father is one more generation older, fine to plead and beg from his old students, but painfully ashamed at his daughter-in-law working as a sales girl. And then there's Mr. Mukherjee, Aruti's office boss, the person employing these sales girls, but with a prejudiced outlook on Anglo-Indian girls, perhaps for their distinct agency and Western modernity. So look at how Ray depicts the men, be open or subtle in their egos, stubborn or understanding in their actions, be meager or rich in their backgrounds, be a quintessential Bengali babu or suited aristocrat, but all guilty of their taboos with respect to women and their image. Look at the world around today, and you will still see the same. This perhaps sets the scene for the film and the real world of how men and women approach modernity in our society, through Shubhrato's optimistic yet nervous and Aruti's welcoming attitude towards the job, in terms of sharing equal gender roles, aspirations for better quality of life, and greater economic freedom. And as Aruti starts enjoying the freedom, money, and mobility of going to work for not only herself but her family, there comes the sequences of the consistent display of a translucent blouse and semi-hidden bra, with deeper set of gendered meanings. Although we see Aruti in class-conscious, respectable dressing throughout the film, the visibility of her bra beneath contradicts the modest, non-sexual, and respectable codes of dressing at the time. In the 1960s, bra wearing in India was not visible in public, and it was uncommon for middle-class Indian women to display their bras. Visibility of bras were perceived to be a sign of foreignness and a sexual taboo. And there comes Satyajit Ray's subtle politics in this film as he moves away from patriarchal Brahmo-Hindu code of dressing for Aruti. Remember how Aruti tells Shubhrato about being subdued by the other fashionable girls who appeared with her for the job interview, as Shubhrato suggests to bring her fashionable stuff. And then, as the camera follows her at her first day of work as the sales girl, it captures her bra and how subtly it eroticizes and feminizes Aruti, even within the masculine image of a bread earner. Now, this contradicting image is contested sight for many, with inherently different value systems for the masculine and feminine in their minds, always tagging a woman as evil and sinful who openly express their sexuality or enjoy their mobility. The item songs are extensions of the same gaze, like the biased gaze of Mr. Mukherjee for Edith, Aruti's colleague in the firm. Aruti's subdued nature, coupled with her Bengali sentiments, appeases him, while Edith is a problem worker from the day she proactively talks about commission. And then by the end of the film, when Aruti too confronts him, the man comes out equally crude. Notice carefully and you will find the semi-hidden bra visible again in this confrontation scene. This time, a feminine image in the form of a courageous rebel. And thereby you ascertain that Ray's power dressing choices for Aruti in the film are way more than what appear on the surface. Interestingly, there's the lipstick and the sunglass apart from the bra that connects Edith and Aruti in camaraderie and trust. And at a time when Hindi cinema was putting Anglo-Indian women as vamps, the vision of Ray unites two women of very different backgrounds, equally craving of sexuality and freedom. That way, Ray depicts aspects of Aruti's femininity that were even concealed from herself, and of course the rest of the world within her traditional image in the patriarchal family structure, much like her mother-in-law, whose only identity is the comfort of her husband and son. And thus Ray questions the typical mother archetype for a more modern mother archetype, a mother who immensely loves her child and is also falling in love with her mobility, modernity or freedom, who does not let go of her ethics and lets her righteous impulse fade away, thinking about the prospects of a child and family. She's torn when her kid reacts when she moves out of home for work, but that is also her channel to buy him a toy, her means to collective happiness of the family. Aruti's bra in Mahanagar reflects the debates in India between adoption of Western modernity and colonial nationalism. It becomes an embodiment of a gendered third space, self and society, and desire and control, an instrumental tool of rupture which centers an active gaze that situates modernity, sexuality, and erotic pleasure in Aruti's life without compromising her role as a wife and mother. The unmaking of the traditionally expected and making of the culturally new. That is all from us today. Thank you for watching.